I'm Gregory Iron, the only professional wrestler with cerebral palsy and the only professional interviewer here at Top Tier Wrestling. And we're here with Backstage with Blackfly, and I'm sitting with a man that I've known for years and years, I've looked up to. And now, somehow, he considers me a peer. And he's given us the unique opportunity to delve inside the mind of the Blade. We know him as the Blade now. I've known him over the years as Pepper Parks. At one point, sir, I don't know if you want to talk about this. You were a cheerleader that wore pigtails.
Yes. The name Pepper Parks came from somewhere, yes.
Where did that come from?
Les Thatcher and Shark Boy.
Okay.
Les was my trainer. Shark Boy was kind of booking the shows at the time. And I was training for wrestling. It was like, okay, I think this kid's ready to have his first match. Let's get some gimmick ideas. I had very long hair at the time. Tie those up in pigtails, call him Pepper Parks. He's a male cheerleader. It wrote itself, man.
I love it.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, I'm sure you didn't envision male cheerleader for yourself. Did you have an idea of what you wanted your character to be?
Yeah, at one point, there was I was thinking I would have like dreadlocks and like a tribal tattoo.
Okay.
Like
very 90s, 2000.
Yep, very, very like dark. Like, yeah. I still remember the conversation. I was just so excited, oh, I'm going to be a wrestler. I'm going to have my first match. I've got this gimmick. I remember being excited and being in the car and telling my parents, yeah, I'm going to start wrestling. I'm going to be a male cheerleader. It's just the utter silence in the car.
Because, wrestling is a weird thing. If you get it, you get it. If you don't, you just don't. There's no explaining, right? So, obviously, over the years...
Not to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
But, also, now that I remember my dad pitching me an idea of a gimmick where I would just be called Tough. I'm just a tough guy, man.
Sure.
And then months later I come back oh, it turns out I'm a male cheerleader.
What,
it was awesome.
Was it spelled tough like the standard way, or was it going to be something very 2000s like T-U-F-F?
I think it was T-U-F-F. He told me he'd seen a guy and his dog's name was Tough and he thought it was cool.
Usually, it goes the opposite way, right? You name the dog after now the thing is name him a human name, like George or something or Bill, but you were gonna take the dog's name. So, but now over the past few years, people know you more as the Blade.
Yeah.
And obviously, you were doing the tag team with Andy, and he's the Butcher and the Blade. A lot of success in AEW.
Thank you.
How did you evolve into this and embrace this Blade character?
I mean, it was pretty easy. I had been wrestling singles for well over 15 years. Teaming with Andy was exciting. I give him, he came up with the whole gimmick, the name, the Butcher and the Blade, and everything, the look, the aesthetic, all that stuff. And I just thought it was so cool. It was pretty easy to gravitate towards.
I feel like you came up with the slick thing, though, right? Because when I think about how I know you as a person and how you're into old school wrestling and action movies, I feel like maybe perhaps the slick thing came from there. Or am I wrong? Am I onto something?
It's from the movie Heat.
Okay, there it is.
Tom Sizemore says he says slick a couple times.
There it is,
and that's where I got it from.
That's awesome. It feels like this version of you is a real, very cool and new school, but at the same time a throwback of sorts. How do you view that?
Yeah, it's all stuff like you're saying. The Butcher and the Blade, obviously sounds like spooky characters, but our real aesthetic was we wanted to look like bad guys from a 90s movie. You know what I mean? That's why we grew our balding hair out for a bit. We just wanted to, like heavies from a Guy Ritchie movie, just grizzled looking, tough guys. That's the whole idea.
Yeah. So, during some of your time in AEW as a side project, you were hosting movie nights.
Oh yeah.
in a theater in the Buffalo area.
Yeah.
Talk to me about how that came about, and was there a favorite movie night experience you had in that whole process?
I did 3 of them, and those 3 movie shows, those are 3 of my favorite things I've ever done in my life. They were a lot of fun. I started a podcast of just me talking about movies I liked, action movies mainly from my childhood. But the idea behind the podcast was just so I could advertise those live showings. The best one the best one I did was the first one. My favorite movie of all time is the original Predator with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Legendary.
Yes, so that was the first one I did. Filled the place up. It was very fun, and then I did Die Hard after that, and then I did Commando after that. I did those. Those were the three that I did. Those were a lot of fun.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I have I wanted an Arnold poster in my gym, but I didn't want him lifting weights or anything because I figured that's such an easy thing to do. So I definitely went with a picture from Commando with him like with a big machine gun, and I'm very happy with my choice.
Because I have one, but it's Arnold like this, so he's like kind of flexing his arm, but he has like a cigar in his hand.
Oh yeah, it's not that one, but
okay.
I see the photo right now.
I think that's from Commando too. Oh, you got one just like a huge machine gun?
Yeah. You're such a multifaceted person. So you had an injury, which I want to talk about in a second here, but during your downtime and your recovery, you're traveling around doing stand-up comedy. And like, look, I know you're a funny guy, but I didn't expect the stand-up comedy route. What was the inspiration behind that?
Yeah, I mean, most people I know how funny it sounds for me to be doing stand-up comedy. Like, I can see how people would be like, huh? I don't really know how it came about. I did realize, like, when I started doing it, because I was off with injury. I mean, I was doing it full. I was doing open mics like on a weekly basis. Like, I was doing it pretty often. But I did realize, like, when I was doing it, I was like, oh no, I have always liked stand-up comedy a lot more. Like, I just didn't realize, like, it was like, oh yeah, like, not all of my friends sat around and watched Premium Blend on Comedy Central for 3 hours every day. Like, you know what I mean? I was like, oh no, like, stand-up comedy has always been something I've really enjoyed. And then, like, I don't know, like, doing it was a lot of fun, and I'm really glad I dabbled with it. And it was a good, and I was lucky enough to do shows in like Los Angeles and Chicago. Like, it was a good time. It was a very good time.
I could never do it, and I give you all the props in the world because it's like
it's really hard. It's very hard.
Sure, because like I feel like I'm funny in real life, and I feel like when you're a funny person in real life, people will go, "You ever think about stand-up comedy?" And my answer always is like, "No," because
that's a different animal. Yeah.
Sure, like well, you're a wrestler. I'm like, but there's no standard for me to go to the ring and the crowd looks at me and goes, now make me laugh. Yeah. And I feel like that's a different kind of pressure. Like they go to show up and laugh. Yeah. And I'm just not prepared for that.
So one, I quickly realized there's a lot more to it than just going up there and telling funny stories. Like, there's beats and punch. There's a thing to it.
Psychology.
Yes.
Structure.
Yes.
Storytelling. Sounds very familiar.
Basic principles.
Yeah.
I quickly learned that, and I don't know, like, I don't know how else to explain this, but like, I can go out in front of a very large crowd in spandex underwear and perform a choreographed fight, and if the crowd doesn't like it, I'm okay. It doesn't bother me. Yeah. But going up and bombing at comedy for 5 minutes will make me rethink my life.
Sure.
It's just a different animal.
Different kind of pain, but
it's an emotional pain.
Yeah. But now you're coming back from something that I feel like was a mental pain and obviously a physical pain. You had a pretty bad injury that put you out for like what, a year?
Almost 2.
That's crazy. And when it happened, I had to reach out to you because I was like, man, I got to know what you're going through. And I remember specifically we had like a very, very long conversation not too long ago. And like we were both going through different things.
Yep.
Talk to me about how the injury came about and like the process of like getting back to where you are right now as a surprise here at Top Tier Wrestling.
It is. I still look back at how hard I had to work after surgery at 45 years old, with a body that had been wrestling for over 25 years. Like, it was, getting the surgery was one thing. I'm very glad I got it done because I feel way, way better now than I did prior. I didn't just have back surgery. I mean, like, I got fused, you know what I mean? So, like, I got a C-section scar. They cut me open in the front, fused my spine through there. I have metal in my spine now. Like, it was a lot, and there was periods where I didn't know if I was going to be able to wrestle again. But I mean, I remember after surgery, like, I remember feeling it, like I kind of turned a corner with like physical therapy, where I was like, oh no, I think this is going to be possible, you know, and that kind of motivated me to start working harder and harder, and that the working out thing was one thing, but like getting back in the ring and like doing like wrestling practice at 45 years old, like rolls and bumps and just basic wrestling training, it was a lot of work, man. It was a lot of work.
You got to get that callus back, right? I feel like that's what people don't understand. It's like the more you do it, the better off you are, right?
Yeah.
Like as far as like being consistent. But then once you're not doing it, boy, is it a shock when you go back.
That's exactly how I looked at it, because like for those of you who don't know, like anybody who starts training in professional wrestling, your body has to callus over to falling on wooden boards, to hitting the wires that are ropes. Your body just has to callus over to all that, and you are sore in places you didn't even know existed. And I had to go through that all over again at 45 years old, and I knew it was coming.
Sure.
And it was something.
Obviously, you've traveled across the country with AEW and doing the indies for years and years. You've had your share of matches in Canada over the years. I've worked with you several times back at Smash Wrestling back in the day. But tonight, you're here at Top Tier Wrestling, and you're against a man that you've been in the ring with a time or two, Cody Deaner. And, are you prepared for the challenge with the Wheel of Misfortune here tonight with Cody?
I mean, I've wrestled Cody a lot, but I wasn't aware of the Falls Count Anywhere stipulation, which I've had plenty of wrestling matches with them, but Falls Count Anywhere is definitely a different story. And but I've been doing this a long time, so I feel pretty good about it.
So after tonight's all said and done, is it safe to say that we might see the Blade back in Top Tier Wrestling?
Oh, I would say 1,000%. Yeah.
Maybe take that championship. Maybe
make
the road with it.
Make a thing out of it.
Why not? It's not that far of a drive for you.
Nope.
So,
it's a beautiful thing.
A lot of problems for people going forward if the Blade is on the roster.
Big problems. Big problems.
But your matches here in the near future. Before we go, though, before we wrap this up, thank you first and foremost.
You're the man, Greg.
Good to see you. Important question. You're drinking a bottle of water.
Yeah.
Now, I don't recommend this before a match.
Yeah.
I'm going to go on a limb, though. If you were to have an adult beverage after your victory over Cody,
Yeah.
is there anything you might lean towards as far as consuming? drink-wise?
I'm just like a straight, like, just give me a Bud Light. Just
Sure.
give me a nice light beer. I'm good.
What if we were in a segment called Backstage with Blackfly, and there was no Bud Light available? Would you pick another beverage of sorts?
I mean, if you're talking about hard iced tea, I would actually. Ooh. No. Yeah. It would be this guy.
Oh,
Yeah.
I like the
Gin.
Gin Greyhound.
Yep. Grapefruit.
I like the sound of that.
That would be my choice.
I like the sound of you in the ring doing your thing. You know what?
Beating
That's
Cody Deaner's ass.
Yeah. Thanks for saying that, because I was like, wait, what does that even mean? I like the sound of you. Look. I miss your smile. I miss your touch, and I can't wait to see you get the taste of victory against Cody Deaner.
Thanks.
Thank you, my friend.
Greg, you're the man.
No, you're the man. This guy's the man.
Thanks, everybody.
Yep. All right.
Thanks, buddy.